here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Mexico City. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes Houston and quarterback Deshaun Watson. Second straight year he's been a Pro Bowler. Strong numbers again, 26 passing touchdowns, 7 more on the ground. But most people still think he's behind Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes if you're ranking AFC quarterbacks, and don't forget about Brady. But what does he need to do to ascend to that top spot?
He's just got to get his team deeper into the playoffs, and they had a great opportunity this past season.
And got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. He's got his tight end, it's Fells. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Time to watch Drew Brees orchestrate this offense. Brees, a guy who recently completed his 19th season, and now, Charles, taking some time to decide whether or not he will return for season number 20.
And I don't believe it's because he doesn't want to compete anymore or because he's tired of football. I think he knows that the Saints are looking ahead to the future. One Taysom Hill taking over. And I think they're almost offering him as a guy to get him to Taysom Hill with one more season. Does he want to be that guy or not? Plus, he has options, maybe in the broadcast booth if he would like. But he did get the start in the NFC for the Pro Bowl because Russell Wilson stepped aside and showed respect. I thought that was a very cool moment.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Brees going to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That's the end of the first quarter. With no
We're scoreless after 1. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. Shotgun now for Brees. And he finds Cook. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara and takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Now the Texans will burn first to their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. This is taken at about the 14. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Football going back to the Houston Texans. Got another AFC South title this year. Their 4th in 5 seasons. No early exit in the playoffs. They came back to beat Buffalo in OT in the wild card round. Then that stunning 24-0 lead against Kansas City in KC. And you have to imagine they're going to be seeing Patrick Mahomes in their dreams all offseason. Probably a lot of nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Kind of reminds you of a Metallica song, doesn't it? Right? I mean, with those kind of nightmares, you don't want to go to sleep. But I go back to something you mentioned earlier. Another AFC South title. Their 4th in 5 years. That's a lot of success that I don't think they get credit for because they haven't had that super deep run in the playoffs. They got to, the divisional round this year in Kansas City with a chance to go to the AFC title game with 24-0 lead. If that happens, I think we look back at this Houston franchise in a little bit different light instead of kind of short shrift. Hey, 4 titles in 5 years in the division. But what do they have to show for it? That's the tough part for Houston.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Now it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is Harris. Officially, that'll be straight crushing playoff defeats. Minneapolis Miracle with Diggs' catch, the Nickel Roby-Coleman no call, and now this last loss that they had to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, and I thought that this would be the year for them, precisely for what you said. Minneapolis Miracle. Then you get the no call, as you said, Nickel Roby-Coleman. I thought 3, right? Everything comes in 3s. Well, I thought the third time would be the charm. They'd find their way to advance. Instead, Minnesota comes to their place, beats them. And going back to what you 13-3, and you have to play in the first round because they lost to San Francisco in a head-to-head game. San Francisco gets one of those byes, as did Green Bay. And New Orleans had to play on the opening weekend.
Although New Orleans doesn't care about this, kind of developing a nice little rivalry between the Saints and the Vikings, right?
No doubt about it, and crazy plays down the stretch have defined this rivalry. And unfortunately for New Orleans, Minnesota getting the better of those plays.
Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On first down, Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. This one into the hands of Ginn out wide. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Here's Breeze to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, 64 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken short. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Turn that into a nice gain. Gets them 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
It's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 5.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Watson now to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Set. 19. 55. White 55. Better bring it. You better bring it. Line him up.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
He was brought down by Kiko Alonso. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 47.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Our time. It's our time.
Here's Watson. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Yeah, there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready. 5-9. Lock the pass. Lock the pass.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Steps away. He'll try and run it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Check, 47. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
We got this.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
3 down, 3 down.
They'll look to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
1st down now, but that clock rolling.
47's the mic. Quit talking about it.
From the red zone now, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Completes it to Miller. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Now Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. He's back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. But now it's third and goal.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on fourth and goal. And they'll run for it with Miller. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The Saints in victory formation. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say adios from Mexico City.